Hey, welcome to Chesto Sneaker Productions, and today we're going to be going through my Nintendo 64 game collection for this year 2017. So, this video is going to be about going through all my Nintendo 64 games over here. So, I really wanted to do this for a very long time, and since I actually never did any collections before, so yeah, I actually wanted to take my time to make this just this video about, specifically just for this type of console, for the N64. So without further ado, let's get to the first game. So here, the first game we have here is Mario Kart 64. So this one was the very first Mario Kart game I have ever played in the Mario Kart franchise, as well as the first Nintendo game that I ever got for the Nintendo 64. In my opinion, I think this is one of the best classic Mario Kart games I have ever owned back in 1997. This is like the only Mario game I have in my collection, like only Mario game I ever got. Since most of my other games are not Mario games at all, so yeah. However, I have owned other Mario games. I mean, I not owned, but I have borrowed other Mario games that I have played, like Mario Party, Super Smash Bros, and Super Mario 64. So, and I've also rented a few games at Hollywood Video. So, before it went bankrupt. So, but I really miss having to rent those games from back in the day. But anyways, Mario Kart 64 is one of those games I think that you can always go back to play again, even after it hasn't really aged for quite a while. But yeah, great racetracks and great battle mode as well. I enjoyed battle mode. I enjoyed playing that a lot. But yeah, best game in the series overall. So that's Mario Kart 64. So next game in the list, here is Cruisin' World. Cruisin' World. Now this game is another racing game for the Nintendo 64, which I also enjoyed. I do remember playing the arcade version before at Chuck E. Cheese's back in the 90s. The arcade version came out in 1996, and then later the N64 version in 1998. The soundtrack of this game is one of the most best songs I've heard. It's one of my favorites. It really takes me back to the good old days when I used to play it. I heard that Nintendo 64 version is a little different from the arcade version. I never noticed any of this before, but until now. But I've heard some people say the arcade version is a little better. So since yeah, I think I could agree as well. But since I grew up playing with the N64 version, I do, in my opinion, think I like this version the best. So, but yeah, it's there's also Cruisin' USA, which was the first one, which I never played. But I only played this one, so actually never played the other ones. But I do think that this one overall is one of the best ones. So definitely, I think you should try out this game if you really, get the chance. So, because it's a good game, I would say. So, alright. So, next game we have here is Hot Wheels Turbo Racing. Now, this game was the last game I ever got before I started buying used games. So, but yeah, the last game I ever bought at a retail store that was brand new. So this is my this is my own copy that I actually owned. So this one, this was an okay game. I only played it for a while, but I haven't played it again since then. I've heard there was a PlayStation version of this game, and that it was a little better than this. The soundtracks were probably better, or the graphics, something about it, but probably better than Nintendo 64. But I mean, I'm sure. But since I never played the PlayStation one, but I'd say this game was okay if you actually enjoyed racing games in general. So there's that. Next game we have here is Earthworm Jim 3D. So, Earthworm Jim, I know I've heard people may not have enjoyed this one, but in my opinion, I think this was one of the best ones I've played so far. I got this game, the only reason why I got this game is because I used to play Clay Fighters on the N64, and it had Earthworm Jim in it, so I actually that's what pretty much like maybe it made me want to get this game because of Earthworm Jim being in that game. But in my opinion, however, it's a good game for me. If others may not like it, that's fine, but that's just me. So I really enjoyed this one. The boss battles were pretty difficult to beat as well, but I mean it's a weird game overall. It's pretty weird. It's one of the weirdest games I've played, but yeah, that's Earthworm Jim 3D. Next we have here is Rugrats from Paris, the movie. So this game I got from a friend. Who usually came to my house during the weekends to play the Nintendo 64. He rented this game from Blockbuster Video, I think. But I don't think he returned it, so he decided to let me keep it instead, since I really enjoyed playing this a lot. So yeah, so about this game, there were a lot of fun things to do. So many puzzles, so many arcade games to play on here. Usually what you do in this game is collect tickets that you later can use to buy things that you'll need to move on to other parts of the game. So, which was pretty fun. I also had a lot of fun beating the boss at the end in this game, so which I think was by far my favorite part about this whole game. So, very good game overall. So, next game we have here is Fox Sports College Hoops 99. So this game was the only sports game I have on the N64, as I don't usually play sports games in general, and I never really enjoy them that much either. But I did want to give this one a try and see how it was, and I think it was a pretty good basketball game. I just didn't really play it as much afterwards. However, I'm sure you'll enjoy this game if you're a big fan of sports games, so I do think this game is at least worth trying out if you're curious to see for yourself. So that's Fox Sports College Hoops 99. And the next one is Banjo Kazooie. This one was one of the best classic 3D platforming games on the Nintendo 64, made by Rare. I got this game at Swap Meet 10 years ago, and I do remember renting this game before at Hollywood Video at one point, and I never got to beat it at first. But later, when I finally got this game, when I finally actually bought it used, I then, was able to beat the whole game, because when I was a little younger, I didn't know how to beat the game, but as I got older, I figured out how to play it better now. So, but yeah, this is one of the best good games that you can play on 64. It has great soundtracks that are full of nostalgia, great characters, awesome worlds to explore, which you can unlock by collecting pieces of jiggy puzzles. Definitely the best game overall that I think you should try out if you haven't yet. Definitely the best ones. Also, over here I also got BanjoTooie. This is the sequel to the original in the series. This was also this one I also bought at Swap Meets that same year. So, and just like the last game, it had a lot of good things to play in there. I do, however, think that this game had a very dark tone compared to the original game. It was a pretty dark game, so, but that's what really made me like this one a lot better because of that. So, it was also a little more difficult to beat as well. But despite being very difficult, I did manage to beat the whole game either way. And yeah, it was a lot of fun to play. So far, this is the last game I actually got for the Nintendo 64. And I haven't bought any more after that since then. However, I do think I want to get Conker's Bad Fur Day. I really enjoyed playing that. I actually played it on the emulator once, but I'd rather play it on the actual console instead. So, when I get the chance, I might actually get the game. I'll look through it on eBay or Amazon. I'll buy it if I can get it cheap enough somehow. But still, though, I'm willing to pay however much they cost. So, yeah, that's pretty much all the collection I have so far. And that's about it. So there you have it. That completes my N64 collection for this year. If you enjoyed watching, please make sure to subscribe, leave a like, or hit the notification bell to stay updated on the latest videos similar to this one. If you choose to do so, otherwise, just do what you want, it doesn't matter. But overall, I'd like to thank you for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Until next time, this is Chess of Sneaking Productions, signing off.